Hello. Hello. I have just driven through maybe 6 or 7 floods. Crazy. I mentioned the other day about floods. I live out in the wilds, right, out in the sticks. We had several floods, and by floods I just mean that the roads probably had a foot or so of water on them. And I had a little gripe that the council's not doing what they do. You pay your council tax and they don't do what they're supposed to do, which is empty gullies. I've never seen a gully emptier. Actually, I don't think I've seen one in the last couple of years or more. Probably more. Anyway, I'm having a fag and a slurpee while I make this quick video. So I made this little video saying that, you know, the problem is that they don't empty anything. Well, 6 days ago we had floods, and by floods I mean like a foot of water on the roads, which is a lot, you know, when you're spraying people and cars and houses and what have you, you know, it's a lot of water really. So they've had 6 days now, the council, to sort the problems out and haven't done anything. Still seen no council workers, no gully emptiers, nothing. And here we are again today. We've had torrential rain today. I wouldn't normally have gone out today, but I had a little bit of a problem. Nothing major, I tell you. My new glasses, my new reading glasses. So I go over and I have my new reading glasses, I have my eyes looked at and all the rest of it. And she said, yeah, you need a slightly stronger reading glasses. I said, okay, that's fine. So a week goes by and I have to go back over and pick my glasses up. So she put them on just for fit and all that, and luckily they didn't need any adjustment, the first time ever, so that was good. And she said, I'll just give you a reading card. So she gave me a reading card like this. She didn't give me this, so she gave me a little reading card, and she said, there you go. And I've got them on and I can read perfectly. Lovely, wonderful. I'm flicking through, well, reading the card, yep, read perfectly. However, when I get them home and you put them on, you don't necessarily want to be reading there. I want to be looking at my computer screen, which is there. All it is a complete blur. Complete blur, I can't see anything. So I spent maybe that hour trying to sort of focus and trying to get closer. I'm leaning in, blur, 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 blur. Ah, there. No, I'm that far away. I'm 8 inches away. I can't lean like that. Then I look down at the keyboard, blurred. So I go, correct. Absolutely ridiculous. So totally wrong, too strong for me. And they were very good. I phoned them up and I said, look, these reading glasses are just too strong for me. And she said, okay, I'll make you an appointment with a dispensing optician. Can you come over in half an hour? And it was absolutely hammering down. However, I did go on the weather early this morning, had a look. We've got I think it's yellow or orange, probably yellow weather warning saying about this rain and these floods. It's going to rain for 24 hours, but heavy torrential rain for the best part of that. Don't know what you can hear outside. It's pissing down. Absolutely pissing down. Anyway, it's been pissing down since this morning. So I said, yeah, I'll come over straight away, because what I didn't want to do was say I'll come over tomorrow, because tomorrow, although it's supposed to be slightly better, you can imagine what the flood's going to be like tomorrow. So I thought, at least today, it was dry yesterday, so hopefully we'll be all right. Anyway, it took me ages to come back through the floods. She had a look at my glasses and she said, yeah, they're a little bit too strong for you. And she put on some little round glasses on a metal frame and held them over the glasses. She said, how's that? And I said, that's much better. And I explained to her, I said, yeah, I need reading glasses, but I don't just sit here and read a book. You know, my work is all remote. It's all on the internet, all on the computer rather. So I said, I need to sit and see what I'm doing. I can't be leaning forward to see what I'm doing. She said, yeah, I'm with you, Bri. She never really. She went like that. No, she put these things on and it was much, much better. And she said, no worries. She said, it'll be another week, but I'll try and get them through quicker than that. So hopefully 3 to 4 days, she reckons. Having said all that, I've got another one of my thoughts to do, and it's on par, you know, it's about that, I suppose, really. So I'm just rolling the fag if you can hear a noise. First of all, I want to say thank you to Mark. Mark, what's your surname? There's this guy, he's got a channel. I've only just got in, so I'm tired and I can't think. Hang on, Mark's channel is all about the Wye Valley, Wales English border, the Wye Valley. So Mark, bless him, put like a little review of my book on the Rambling to Bry on Facebook, and thank you so much, Mark. I really, really do appreciate that. I haven't got a lot of feedback, and it means the world to me when I get some feedback, so thank you very much. And the fact that you got the book, really, you understood the book, you understood where I'm coming from with it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. So I lost my train of thought there, didn't I? But thank you anyway. That's the most important thing that I wanted to say. So I've got this, my thoughts to do. Okay, so this is from Dave, and he says, what's your thoughts on the National Health prescription charges, rip off or what? What's your thoughts on the National Health prescription charges, rip off or what? Yes, Dave. Yeah, they are. I have to agree. As you know, throughout my videos, I've always bigged up the National Health, and I still will. I think they're absolutely fantastic. We got it far better in this country than most other countries. So the National Health really is fantastic. You know, my medication, I can go and see my doctor, that's free of charge, and I go and see a nurse, and that's free of charge, and I get weighed and bloods taken and all that's free of charge. If I have an accident and I break a bone, that's, you know, I go to hospital and that's free of charge, and the x-rays are free of charge, and the team around me are free of charge. If I've got some awful disease or whatever, that's free of charge, you know, all the blood tests and counselling, and there's a lot of stuff that's all free of charge. So the price of prescriptions, yeah, it is a rip-off. I mean, it's £9 at the moment, £9 per item, which is a hell of a lot, especially when you need a certain number of meds. Now, my doctor is very, very good. What he does, he lumps together certain meds for me, which is good. And one particular medication that I take, I'm supposed to get, I think it's 28 in a box. I can't remember. I say it's 28. I'm supposed to get 28, so that's £9. But what he does, he puts 4 lots of 28 down on the thing, so I get 100 and whatever it is. So that's £9 for all of that. So I have 4 months worth of that, or just under 4 months worth, for £9. I think it's fantastic value. It's very, very good. Now, yeah, the reason why I say they're a rip-off is because a box of paracetamol, if they give somebody a box of paracetamol, it costs us £9. The manufacturers, they charge to the doctors, they charge like £11. So we get it for £9, so it's a lot cheaper. But the same tablets, paracetamol, they're £1 a box, you know. If you go to Wilko's or B&M or Pound Stretcher or Tesco's or Asda, or, you know, for £1. Now, I don't know personally, I don't understand why doctors don't buy their tablets from Tesco's or wherever for £1 and then charge us £9. I don't understand why they don't. Maybe they're contracted and they have to go to the sort of big pharma. Who knows? But yeah, so that is a definitely rip-off. Well, I'll just notice. Do you like my little candles? Are they moving? They're not real. I'll show you one in a bit, shall I? Anyway, yeah, so that is a definite rip-off, isn't it? Something that cost £1 cost us £9, but then saying that, if they're buying them at 11 quid, then there's a rip-off all the way around. The Big Pharma is a rip-off, not the National Health, really. Having said that, of course, you know, £9 is a hell of a lot. I just had to pay for my glasses, for instance, you know, but saying that, again, with the glasses, they didn't cost me a lot of money, and you have a test every 2 years. So if you break that down, if I break 2 years into how many books I'm going to read, how many times I go on the internet, all my work, and of course I get paid for doing my work, all the hours that I spend working and surfing the net, watching YouTube videos, whatever, then my glasses, I think, are very, very cheap. The big rip-off, two big rip-offs that I can think of is dentists. They charge you just for walking in the door. Yeah, dentists, and also parking. I'm really, really against hospital. I know that the hospitals get some money, some of the money that they charge for parking. Most of it goes to a private firm. I think it's 80% goes to the private firm. But still, you know, 20% of every single ticket is millions per year to the hospital. So I understand that. However, I do think it should be free. I think that it should be paid by the government. The government should give the hospitals more money. Just a little bit more money, you know, a couple of £1 million or whatever a year. It sounds like a little bit, but it is in the big scheme of things, you know. But hospital parking is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Bearing in mind that you go there, you know, I'm thinking when my mum was dying, and it's 24/7 the parking, we were called one evening at 10 to 10 at night. And very quickly, we all gathered ourselves together and bang, we were at the hospital. And then you've got to search for change. You can't go up and see your mum. They've told you to get there quickly. You must go and get a ticket, walk across the car park and get a ticket, you know. And that ticket, I mean, they rip you off, I think it's £5.40 an hour, 11 quid for 2 hours, 15 quid for 3 hours, something like that. It's an awful, awful price. Terrible expense. Not only that, it's the hassle of doing it when you're there and you know you're going to be saying your goodbyes to somebody. And you've got, you know, potentially you're going to have like £100 fine because you're not going to go with a wallet. Perhaps if somebody calls you at midnight and says get to hospital now, you just go, and then you realise you've got no money. What then? You know, what do you do? So the parking is definitely a rip-off. I think that needs looking at. And a lot of people that do know that they're going to hospital to visit somebody who's had a baby or whatever, they park in the side streets, and the side streets are absolutely full of cars, you know. And that's everywhere, through every single town, up and down throughout the country. It's chock-a-block within a mile or so radius of the hospital or health centre or hospice or whatever you're going to go to. Now, surely, isn't it better to say a 50p parking? Yeah, for 3 hours it's 50p, something like that. Then every single person wouldn't mind paying the 50p because it's value, and they might have 50p on them, or there's 50p in the car. They can scrape together a few coppers, or even they can say to somebody, any chance you could pay my parking for me? It's 50p, you know, I got no money, I've just been called here at midnight. I mean, I'd say yes in an instant, wouldn't you? Of course you would, you know, at 50p. If somebody says you couldn't pay my parking, I want 3 hours, it's 15 quid. That's a lot of money. So that needs to be sorted out in some way. It never will, because there's private companies now got involved, obviously. And they make a hell of a lot. They make a killing, an absolute killing, that's the truth. So I'm really, really against hospital parking. charges. But most of the National Health, I believe, is great value. You could say, okay, £9 for prescriptions, yes, a rip-off, but you could say, oh, I'm taking these tablets and they keep me pain-free, or they help with my disease or disorder or whatever. So what price do you put on that? If you're taking an antipsychotic drug, which is quite an expensive drug, but it keeps you on a lovely even keel all day, every day, how much is that worth to you? You know, to feel comfortable in your own skin for 24 hours must be worth 100 quid. Must be. So for £9 for, say, 2 months worth of antipsychotic drugs, I think is very cheap. Because again, what price do you put on that? So you've got to weigh it up, haven't you, each way and what have you. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, of course, it's a rip-off. But if you look at the bigger picture, you know, I went and parked in my doctor's surgery to go and get my meds today. That was one thing that I had to do. Free parking in there, no problem. So, and if I wanted to, I could have seen a doctor either today or tomorrow, or certainly in the next day or two. They're very good here. And that's free, as I said earlier. So there's lots of stuff that is free. It's looking at the bigger picture and looking at what we do get, as opposed to what we then have to give in. And I know that people say, well, it's a rip-off because I'm paying my national insurance. And yeah, I agree. I do agree. Maybe we should lower the national insurance, because we're paying a fortune in parking and a fortune in meds. Fortune on prescriptions. We've got to pay for dentist and bloody glasses now and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe that's a thing. Maybe we need to look at that. But we've got so much money. We're loaded. This country, we're loaded. If you listen to what Boris Johnson says, he lies. We know he's a liar, but he lies, and he says we're going to build 40 new hospitals. No, we're not. We're building 6. That's the truth. But 6 hospitals, that's a lot of money. The government has said, yeah, we've got the money for it. 6 new hospitals, costing trillions and trillions of pounds. You think what a hospital costs? It's not just to build it, it's the equipment and everything else. So we are an extremely, extremely rich country, and you know, to charge us, we've got to give a little bit back. Admittedly, I think we should pay, and we should pay something. I don't know what we should pay. I have seen, in the past, I've seen a doctor, and she was very good, and I needed a certain medication for something or other, and she said, you know, your best bet. And then she told me, she said, if you go to, I think it was Holland and Barrett, and she said, and you ask them for blah, 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 it's £1.5 for 100 tablets. She said, and they work exactly the same as what I can give you. I can give you 20 tablets for £9. It wasn't £9 then, it was about £8.40, wasn't it? And it went up to £9. And that was fantastic. My mum also had a good vet like that as well, and the vet said I could prescribe certain medication for the dog. However, if you give him so and so, and it was dirt cheap from the pound shop, you know, special shampoo she needed. One of her dogs had I can't remember what it was, but anyway, he needed like an oil shampoo. And he said if you go to the pound shop and you get Johnson's baby oil and rub that on him, it's a big thing like that for £1, you know. So there are options out there if you look around. But of course we don't know, do we, when you're ill, you go to a doctor and he prescribes you with tablets. We don't know what those tablets really contain. Well, you could read all the paraphernalia that comes with it, but who wants to read a book of 74 pages? So, yeah, you could possibly find a different way, a cheaper option, cheaper version. Now we have to remember obviously that everything is free for children, which it should be. Everything is free for those, I think, is over 65. Those needing long-term medication. There's different things they can do to sort of lower the price, so they don't have to pay £9 per prescription, a bit like I do with my doctor. You know, like I said, I get 4 months worth of certain meds for £9. I think that's great. I think that's great value. So it's worth, if you think it's a rip-off, and it is, but if you think it's a rip-off, go and see your doctor and say, look, I'm on these meds, this is what it's costing me, I can't afford it, what can I do? And have a chat with your doctor, because there are options, there are things that you can do really. But on the whole, yeah, I think prescriptions, I think they are too expensive. I think the car parking charges are far too expensive. Apart from that, I'm really in favour of National Health, so I can't say a lot about them. Whatever you're doing today, try and stay dry. It's bloody hopeless out there, absolutely hopeless. Never seen it so wet really, but never mind. Thank you, Dave. I'll be back soon. Take care and be well. Ta-da.